Uh, hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. I'm really excited to be joined by Usman from Usman Speaks. How are you doing?
I'm great, Alhamdulillah, fine. And I think it's like honor for me. I watch your videos from so long, and I thought, why you are not inviting me? finally, finally, I am here. So thank you so much for inviting me, and it's just like honor for me to be
Thank you, Noah. It's my honor to have you on. So thank you for joining, and inshallah I'll be able to come on your channel as well. I'll wait as well for your invitation. So inshallah one day I'll come onto yours. So we're going to discuss the Pakistan versus South Africa series. So South Africa toured Pakistan, and they played two Test matches and three T20s. Let's talk about the T20s first because they just happened, and the last one was played very recently. Pakistan managed to just about win 2-1, but it was a little bit up and down, I think, from Pakistan in the 2020 series. How do you think Pakistan did in general in the 2020s?
I think there are two point of views. Now, one point of view is Miss Luck point of view, and the one is our our alias fan point of view. Na? So I think if first I should talk, if I will talk about Miss Luck point of view, na, and I think Miss is saying the right thing. We win a T20 in England. It's not as much as easy to win a T20 in England. These guys are so professional with their white ball format also, and we also managed to win a T20 in New Zealand. So if we look at our performances, our series performance in T20, I think we are not so good, not so bad. I think it's a 50-50, and now we are winning a series in home by 2-1. Yeah, by very little margin. We lost one T20 by a heavy margin, we can say, but I think we are doing good. It's all up to T20. Nah? T20 is always a nail biter. Every team have so many good players, and I think especially South Africa, their domestic quality is also so good. But I think the kind of hunger I see in South Africa, that's what I like most. No, so that's why I think they, it's all about effort. If you have if you don't have so much skill, but if you have hunger and will, then end of the day you will have a great show. So that's what I saw in South African team, I think. But overall, coming on your question, like I think I'm quite satisfied, 50-50 satisfied, but there are so much concerns. Look, our team is not settled. There is no clarity. But I think once a senior guys comes like he's like Shadab and some others. So I think our team look bit settled, but we need to, we thought we just away from World Cup, like just 18 matches away. But our coach think it's too much. 18 matches are too much. So I think it's all up to captain mindset. What's in captain vision? So captain have every right to make a team for World Cup, or lately they think about World Cup team. But I think it's up to 50-50%, because if I show more concern, then someone else will tell me like, why they win the series by 2-1? They managed to win a T20 in New Zealand and England. Why you are so concerned? But I think our performance is not as much as up to mark, to be honest.
Okay, well, I think that's a fair assessment because Pakistan were, I mean, at one point we were the number one in the world for T20 internationals. But let's talk about the positives first, because there will definitely be some negatives to talk about, or things that Pakistan can improve on. So, firstly, Mohammad Rizwan has been fantastic. I mean, not just in the 2020s, but in the Test matches as well. But let's talk about his 2020 form. So, I think he scored his maiden Test 100, so his first Test 100 in 2020s, and he's the second batsman after Ahmed Shahzad to score 100 in all three formats, and he averaged 99 in three innings. I think he scored 100 and a 50 in the second one, and then 42, I think it was yesterday. So really impressive stuff from him, and I wasn't very sold on him as an opener because I thought maybe he's not powerful enough. I thought he should be in the team, but maybe not as an opening batsman. But I think he's definitely proved me wrong. So I admit that I was wrong. What did you think of his performance?
Same here. I upload a video on my channel. I'm talking to Rashid Latif and Numan, and I show a lot of concern on Rizwan opening. Like I say, why there should be a Shirjeel? He's a proper opener. Rizwan is not natural opener, but Rizwan prove wrong. Rizwan prove us wrong. Like the way he play in T20 and especially his six hitting ability. Na? So that's the main concern whenever we are talking about Rizwan. He can hit sixes in T20. Yeah, definitely that's the reality. Before 1 year, he can't hit sixes in T20 now. But I think the way he changed his game, I think that's a great thing. So definitely, if you are wrong, but if you are talking about positive, definitely Rizwan is that's a huge positive. And today Multan Sultan announced Rizwan is their captain. And I think their former captain Chan, now it's tough to get a place in 11 because there is Vince, Chris Lane, and Rizwan on top also. So, but I think Rizwan is also a positive. Zahid Mahmood is also a positive. Also, not it's a great positive. I think domestic performers are proving, so much. They have the capability at performing rapidly and quickly in international level. That's a great thing. Whenever you put a domestic guy in international cricket, you think we should groom him like for 1 year, 6 months, or 4 months, or two, three, four series. But our domestic guy, even an under 19 guy, Haider Ali, yeah, and from last three T20s, he's like just like a taste of Sanju Samson, highly talented but not capable to execute the inning. But I think Haider Ali also performed Noman in Test and Hazayed, and especially the second most positive is Fahim Ashraf. Like now he's batting very well, and I think he improved a lot. He's capable. The main point, he's capable of so much. I saw him hitting helicopter shots so many times in domestic, but never in international cricket. He's as much as capable. Yorker ball is stock ball of any bowler, and he can capable to hit six out of the park while playing helicopter shot. So I think Rizwan, Fahim, and then other domestic guys also. But if you are talking about two biggest like positive, then definitely I think Rizwan and Fahim Ashraf. And I'm also so much happy, seeing these guys performing for Pakistan, performing for a team. That's also the great thing. Sometimes we miss team players, so they both are team players. That's also the great thing who fascinates me more.
100%. I think, yeah, Mohammad Rizwan was fantastic. And Fahim Ashraf, as you said, I mean, Pakistan we've really struggled to find a seam all rounder for a very long time, probably since Abdul Razak, I would say, like a very good one.
Definitely.
And Fahim Ashraf looks like uh, he's got the potential to, inshallah, be someone who could play for Pakistan in all three formats and be a seam all rounder. I think his batting has improved a lot. He looks a lot more confident. I think the 91 he scored in New Zealand definitely helped him in the 2020s. And then I think he's carried on that form in Test matches and in T20s as well. So I think he's looked very impressive. And his bowling, I think, has always been quite good. He's very consistent. I think if he can maybe add 1 or 2 miles per hour to his bowling, just become a little bit quicker, which I think he has the ability to do, then he'll be a very, very good all rounder. So hopefully he can continue to do so. Mohammad Rizwan, as you said, I think there was question marks around his six hitting ability, but he's shown that he can do it. And sometimes it doesn't matter how tall you are. The bats are so big nowadays that if you time the ball well, like it's going, especially in T20 cricket. I think so. There's no issues. You mentioned
Look,
Haider Ali
one thing,
actually. Go on.
sorry for interrupt, but my point is, look, whenever we are talking to these guys now, like Rizwan, like Fahim Ashraf or other, the one thing I really like most about them is they are well prepared from, domestic. If you're talking about Fahim Ashraf, say, I done enough work in domestic, I done enough work before, so there is no confirmed concern for me to perform in international cricket. That's what I like most. International cricket is all about performing, it's not about learning. So that's what I like most about. They are not, so much concerned about their international performances. They are so, confident in themselves and in their inner skills. Like, like, yeah, I done enough hard work, and that's the requirement of hard work. I done enough hard work. Now I am capable to perform. So that's what I like most about these guys. Like, they are well prepared.
And that actually is very similar to what you said before we started talking about a process, right? It's about following the process, and that's what they've done. They followed, as you just said, they followed the process, and it seems like they've put in the hard work, and it's paying off. So I think 100% I agree with you. Haider Ali is someone who has a lot of talent, I think. But I've been a little bit critical of him just because I think because he has so much talent and he's so young, I understand that it's going to be tough for him to start scoring runs so quickly. But I think he got out in the same way twice in the first two 2020s. Both times he tried to flick the bowler for six and got caught at deep mid wicket both times. And I think when you get out the same way two times in a row as a batsman is bad because what it means is that you haven't learned from your mistakes. And I feel like he's quite young. He's got a lot of talent and he'll make mistakes because he's young. But I just want to see him, correcting the mistakes that he makes and making sure he doesn't do them again. Because I feel like he's someone who actually has every shot. He can play pretty much anywhere, but he seems to just want to hit sixes and he wants to play one way. What's your opinion though on it? Do you disagree? Do you think maybe he has just been a little bit unlucky and he'll come good? Because I think he's got the talent, but I think maybe his thinking and his mentality is not quite right at the moment. He needs to just calm himself a little bit and try and hit more singles and twos and manipulate the field, even in 2020s. If you can we know he can hit boundaries, but it's about rotating strike as well. What do you think?
I think first of all, though, I really like the way he play. First in I think first match when Rizwan scored 100, everyone is talking about Rizwan, but I just mentioned look at the three sixes that Haider Ali hit. I think it's so pleasing to eye. So I really like the way Haider Ali play, but I want to play more. I want the Haider Ali to spend more time on these. So that's why my issue. Look why he's exposed and why his technique exposed. It shows he's not so much playing like a long cricket, like 4-day cricket or 5-day cricket. But I think in international cricket he needs to learn. International cricket is also like for him international cricket and domestic cricket also where he needs to improve his technique. I just remember Sanju Samson. Look, he's someone is mentioning me on Twitter like he's Sanju Samson of Pakistan. Too much talent and not executing skill. Look, Rohit Sharma and Sanju Samson. I think, in my point of view, have same skill. But Rohit Sharma is just like Rohit Sharma because he know what his teams requires. Like he know how he should build the inning. What's what kind of inning team wants from him, not 1-2 6s. So Haider Ali also need to learn a lot. But look, Babar also, Kuldeep Yadav also same Chinaman like Shamsi. Babar also stronger in I think left-handers nowadays. Babar playing from international cricket since 5-6 years, but till now he's facing into some technical issues. You can say. What I want to make a point is Haider Ali also learn, but Haider Ali need to learn while performing also. Look, Babar Azam have so many technical issues. In Test cricket he has so many issues, but our coaches never drop Babar Azam from Test cricket because somewhere little bit performances in pieces. So Haider Ali will stay in team if he perform in pieces also. So what I want from Haider Ali, just stay on grease. And it's a international kind of skills. We are watching match on TV. We know what kind of deliveries a left arm Chinaman can bowl. He can give air to ball. He can turn right. He can turn left. What kind of field set he want? Look how he out Hussain 3 times. Every time it's a different. So I think Haider Ali skills level is okay. I think technique is also okay, but the mind games, what he can do with me, but like a tricks, it's a local. I think we call it a street smart cricket kind of skills. So I think, but that's what missing in Haider Ali. But I think there is a in international cricket there is also a huge pressure. I think from the time Haider Ali will learn, but he needs to learn quickly. So everyone wants him to play more and spend more time on crease because it's so pleasing. Haider Ali is so pleasing to eye. I really like his batting, and I'm looking forward to PSL. And I also want Peshawar Zalmi to make him vice captain, but that's maybe too too early. But let's see how things happen in this PSL for Haider Ali.
Yes, I think he maybe vice captain is too early, as you said. He's quite young, isn't he? But who knows? He could be. But I agree with you. He's got he's got amazing talent, I think, and he is someone who, as you said, he's great to watch, but he doesn't stay at the crease long enough, as you said. So I think he He needs to go into the game in 2020s thinking, I want to bat the 20 overs. Because if he does, as you've just said, the sixes he hit were great. He will hit boundaries. He'll hit runs. I mean, if he stays there for 20 overs, he's going to hit 100%, because he won't score very slowly. He'll be scoring at least 120, 130 strike rate plus. Like, we know that because he'll score quickly. So I just think he's worried too much about always hitting, always. I've got to hit. And then what happens is he gets out quickly, and he'll be frustrated with himself. So I think he just needs to, maybe his shot selection needs to be better and picking the right times. And as you've pointed out, I think it's about, he's young, so he just needs to learn, and maybe with age and maturity, he'll get better. You mentioned Babar Azam, so let's talk about him. He obviously didn't have. He batted quite well yesterday. He got 44, but I think we can say his form is not particularly good at the moment. In the Test series, the left armers, as you said, Maharaj got him out LBW 3 times in 4 of the innings, and I think the technical issue he has at the moment, and it's actually similar to what Kohli used to have in one point in his career, which is the straighter balls. He was so used to being able to just flick them to mid wicket or mid on, because he's so wristy and so talented that he could just get away with it. But unfortunately, Babar Azam at the moment, when you're not in form, so the ball that he got out to, I think it was in the second T20, he got out LBW to the left arm spinner, as you said, and he should have really just played that to mid on, just punched it to mid on, straight to bat. But he didn't. He tried to flick it to mid wicket, and he did a similar thing in the Test matches. He played the wrong line, so he wasn't playing straight enough and he was falling over his front leg, and he wasn't getting basically in line with the ball, and actually behind it. So I think, as you said, he has some technical deficiencies. I don't think he has many. He's definitely worked on his game. He's clearly someone who works very hard, because I don't think he is. I think Haider Ali is probably more talented than Babar Azam, but Babar Azam has worked so hard at his game that he's become amazing. And I think he has, at the moment, he's getting found out a little bit with the left arm spinner. And actually, I don't know if you remember, Kevin Peterson from England, he used to have a similar thing for a very short period with left arm spinners, but then he got over it quite quickly. So I think Babar Azam needs to do the same, because otherwise, when the T20 World Cup comes, if he doesn't score runs, there's no chance we're going to win the T20 World Cup. We have no chance. So what's your thoughts on Babar Azam? Do you think he's going to be able to get back to form quickly?
Look, we are waiting for this. Every batsman, in the world have technical issues in some point of time. You rightly mentioned Virat Kohli. So we are waiting for this, and thank God it comes after 5-6 years, not in early. But I think someday it comes. We are waiting for this also. So what Babar Azam need to done, just little bit slightly changes, and the person Babar Azam need most is like Misbah, Mohammad Yusuf and Zamamulak, and all the 4 Babar Azam have in the also NCA or in a like 2, like you can find in Zamamulak or Mohammad Yusuf in NCA. Mohammad Yusuf is permanent NCA, but and every time you have like Yunus, but recently Pakistan England series, but Butler also, Yunusan also mentioned, like Butler comes and he wants to learn sweep shot. So I think if Babar have issue with spin, look, what happened. Virat Kohli doesn't play a sweep shot too much, so everyone have a different game. So you need to learn how you can score. So that's what my point is. Just Babar Azam need to learn how he can get scores, like while playing left arm spinner. So I think there is just a little bit slightly changes. I think Babar Azam just as you rightly mentioned, like flicking and little bit. I think bad angle is not as much as right. The ball who comes in like side of wicket. So that's what I think on this point Babar Azam feel little bit difficulty. But I think Babar Azam is just like a true champion, true fighter. I think. And now I think, but it's just PSL happen, and in PSL, I think teams also target him with a left arm spinner. So Babar Azam needs to find it as much as early he can. But I think he is a champion player. Let's see what happen in PSL. He find it or not. But I think as soon as possible he will sort out, because he is just like a world class player. So definitely I believe on him. Let's see what happen in next few matches when Babar Azam play left-hander. And the main thing in Test, it's not about T20. In T20 you get edges, you get single, double. It's all about Test cricket. When in Test cricket, and Mirage is not as much as quality bowlers, left arm. There are so many other who are so quality left arm, Chinaman or spinners. So that's also happen when you face a world class quality left arm spinner. That's also the great thing. Let's see what happen. I think Babar Azam will sort out as soon as possible he can.
100%. I agree. What about, let's talk about a bowler. Hasan Ali has come back, right? He's back and he's doing really well. He got 10. I think he got a lot of wickets in the Test series. I mean, he bowled very, very well. I thought he was a little bit expensive, so overall he got 12 wickets. Um, in that second Test match, he got 10 wickets, 5 in each innings as well, and he bowled very well. I think he managed to get the ball to reverse swing with the older ball. I think he was a little bit expensive with the new ball, but I don't think he should be opening the bowling. I think he should probably be first change. But in Pakistan, you normally have, you don't normally have so many seamers. You have more spinners. But what did you think about his return to international cricket? Because I think it was quite impressive. I'm hoping they can carry on a bit of form. He also played the last T20 and he got a wicket. I think it was 1 or 2 wickets yesterday, and he also got some runs as well. So what are your thoughts around Hasan Ali?
I think he's from Roti Group. That he's from Roti Group, Islamabad, and he's also part of Islamabad United. And Islamabad United. Later we will talk about PSL. You want to talk about PSL? Islamabad United is just like my favorite franchise in PSL. But coming on Hassan Ali domestic performance, it's all about hunger, and he's established international player. What others we have Haris Rauf, and Haris Rauf don't have so much domestic and international level experience. But Hassan Ali is also have extra edge of batting also. But Hassan Ali is just like a proper international established player. So that's what Hassan Ali needs. Hassan Ali needs just little bit fitness. Everything is okay with Hassan Ali. Last time Hassan Ali just plays PSL, and after PSL, I think he got some injury and he goes and sees something like that kind of story. But it's all about a team player. He's a team player. He's a champion, and he always have the skill. He always have the potential. The always question is his fitness. Now he comes with great fitness, but I really like his attitude. Last day a funny video also come out from Hassan Ali regarding a party or something like that. These kind of characters you need, like a team players. And he also gives you some extra in betting. We won, you can say we won T20 series maybe little bit because of Hassan Ali. So that's why you need these kind of characters. But I really like Hassan Ali. The way
Mm,
he built the momentum of team. So I really like the character. I always like character players. So Hassan Ali is just like a true champion.
mm. Mirapari is what you said, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Nowadays trending in Pakistan. No?
Yes, it's a video. My wife showed me the original video. So apparently
Yeah.
it's a trend in Pakistan at the moment. Yeah, so I think Hassan Ali, though, I mean, he had a very good Qadi Azam trophy, didn't he? He played very well in the Qadi Azam trophy, so he's carried that form through, and he had quite a big injury where he's been out for a bit of time. So good to see him back, and hopefully he can continue to play well. You said Zahid Mahmood, he had his debut. Were you impressed with it? Because he is a little bit expensive. He went for 10 and over, but he got 3 wickets, including 2 wickets in his first over. And he looks like a very good leg spin bowler. Um, and what do you think about, because when Shadab comes back, I think Shadab will obviously be in the team. So probably there'll be one place for either Usman Qadir or Zahid Mahmood. Who do you prefer, and what do you think of both of them?
Look, Zahid, before 4 5 months, Zahid have a 4 day reputation. People consider him as red ball bowler, and people want him to be in the test team. And I think that's the selector mistakes that didn't include Zahid in test team. But I think from last year's I play, I think ODI and T20 cricket also, and he performed good. People always want him to, Zaid Mahmood comes from a great process of Pakistan cricket, not like just Usman Qadir. But I think captain decision is all about regarding Usman Qadir did something else. But Zaid Mahmood is just like, I think, too champion. He's just like, what we want from a spinner, and especially a leg spinner. It's temperament. I think Zayed Mahmood have temperament. Look, first ball, international career, it's form, but still he comes back, and it's all about come back stronger. Life is all about bounce back. So he just bounced back stronger. I think he has a more temperament than Shadab and Usman Qadir in my point of view. But like you're talking about who will play like when Shadab back. To be honest, in my point of view, Usman Qadir is more better bowler and all of like Shadab and Zaid. I'm talking about white ball cricket. But if you look at Shadab, like Shadab experience. Shadab is a nowadays he's experienced bowler. He play also champion trophy and he plays so much cricket for Pakistan. But I think if you need a proper leg spinner, then it's Usman Qadir, to be honest.
Okay.
He's just like a more control bowler. So my first choice will, it's a Babar Azam decision. But Babar Azam want little bit leg spin, like 2 3 hour of leg spin and little bit betting, then Shadab will be automatically choice. But nowadays there is Shadab don't have so much impressive performance with the ball. That's the main issue. Everybody wants Shadab to play as first choice batting priority, as first choice leg spinner, because Shadab is a street smart cricketer. He's also like a true champion. But nowadays Shadab don't have a good form with ball. So to be honest, my point of view is we should go with Usman Qadir first, then Shadab second. And we need a leg spinner. We need a Yasir Shah replacement. Na? So we should consider Zaid as a red ball cricketer. But that's not the matter. Nowadays there is no issue. There are so many bowlers who's playing red ball, white ball, that's something else. But that's a great thing for Pakistan. Before 6 months, we don't have, any leg spinner. Our head coach saying in press conference, there is no leg spinner in country. There is no replacement of Shadab. But nowadays, you are every player. Look, every player from opener to fast bowler, left arm fast bowler, spin, leg spinner, fast bowling all rounders. Fahim, Ahmad, Amir Yamin. So everybody has a 2 3 replacements. So anyway, my choice is first Usman Qadir, to be honest. I need a proper leg spinner with more control.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I think in white ball cricket, Usman Qadir is definitely. I would like to see him, as you said, him and Shadab, because then there's less pressure on Shadab to get wickets, and then he'll probably bowl better if he has Usman there as well, because he'll think Usman is going to be the front line spinner, the lead spinner, and I can bowl a few overs and he'll create pressure for me, and then also he can bat as well, and he's improved his batting a lot. And that's funny because I agree with you. I think Zahid Mahmood could be someone who replaces Yasir Shah when Yasir Shah retires or eventually stops playing Test cricket. So that's interesting. Um, you said about the fast bowlers that we've got. So you think we have quite a few then, because Tabish Khan has done very well for Pakistan for quite a few years. Were you disappointed that he didn't play any Test matches in the home series?
That's a mixed feeling regarding as emotional cricket fan. Definitely, I want Tabish to play. To be honest, as emotional cricket fan, but it's all about life. There is no emotion in work and life. So definitely, maybe that's why he misses out. Like team wants a bowler who can bowl 145, 150, like with a little bit experience and the kind of wicket we have. We just changed the Pindi wicket. I never saw Pindi wicket as much as turning and gripping. But that's something other story. But I think definitely, to be honest, that's a mixed feeling. I told like as emotional cricket fan, I want Tabish to play, but as professional, I think there is no future in of Tabish Khan. Like we want to groom youngsters. Like look at Shaheen Shah Afridi, look at Hasan Ali. He's more experienced. He can bat. So yeah, let's see. But I think Tabish Khan, if Tabish Khan, can impress everyone for 1 2 3 years, definitely why not? He can play. But let's see when he will get chance. But I think yeah, there is 2 point of view. First, you should overrule him. But if you select him, Like, yeah, definitely he will be in your plan. Na? That's why you select him. So give him some chances, I think, in future. Let's see.
Mm, okay. Do you think Naseem Shah should still be in the Test side, or do you think he should play domestic cricket and then gain form and then get picked again?
Yeah, definitely. When everything is okay with Naseem Shah and domestic cricket because he had a great domestic season, that's why he's selected for Australian side. But I don't know what happened with Naseem Shah. There's a process kind of bowlers. There are so many issues when you don't come from club cricket, school cricket, proper domestic season. So when you come in international cricket, you saw technique issues like we talk about Haider Ali and also nowadays Naseem Shah. In NZ he's bowling so much no balls also, and we select him because of pace. But there is no pace nowadays. He's bowling 135, 138, something else. But yeah, definitely that's a quite simple process. If your national team is not selecting you and your fitness is not okay and you are out of the form, definitely come in domestic cricket and perform and get more control. That's the main thing with Naseem Shah. He's not just like a
Yes,
control bowler. In Test cricket, you need control bowlers, na?
a
So I
hundred
think
percent,
let's see.
100%. Do you think it's strange that he hasn't played any white ball cricket for Pakistan because he's quite quick, he's young. I would have expected him to have played like a 2020 or ODI before Test cricket, but he went straight to Test cricket. Or do you think it's because of his domestic performance?
I think Mukhar Yunus is the right one who can answer this. Just kidding. But what happened? Yeah, someone also talking about like regarding Naseem Shah, he should play white ball cricket first. But why we select Naseem Shah? Naseem Shah red ball performances. Naseem Shah perform in red ball in domestic. That's why we select. So maybe that's why he have a reputation of like red ball bowler. And the main thing, we need young guns in Test. Amir and Wahab Riaz are also available before, when we select Naseem and Sain for Australia tour. Amir is also a great option for Australia tour. Wahab Riaz is also there, and we also select Irfan. So that's why I think he misses out. But yeah, definitely, if he have a pace, but let's see what kind of PSL season he have this. So yeah, I think this PSL will decide his red ball, his white ball future. But I think there is so much option nowadays for Pakistan. In white ball, Haris, Hassan, Shine, Hasnan, Fahim, Ahmad, but so there are so much options. Let's see.
What did you think of Haris Rauf? Because I'm of the opinion that I don't think he's good enough for Pakistan. And I said it, so when Pakistan played against Zimbabwe, actually, no, sorry, Pakistan played here in the UK, and I watched Haris Rauf play, and I know that he's played very well in the PSL. He's played well in the Big Bash last year. He played well as well. So in the franchise cricket tournaments, he's played well. But then in England, he struggled. He didn't bowl very well. And then in Zimbabwe, he struggled a little bit as well. And then here again, he struggled. He's very expensive. I know he's got pace, but he seems very raw. Like he doesn't seem like he's experienced at all. But I think he's 29, 30 years old. But for me, I don't think he should be playing at the moment until he has a another very good season domestically. But what do you think?
Look, I think if we select him just because of pace, I think that's a wrong thing. There is, no pace. If you bowl 150, 160 even, so what matters? Batsmen also have a practice of 160 in net sessions. So there is nothing new. So first of all, I think if we select him just because of pace, that's our biggest mistake. I don't know why we commit this mistake having a coach like Vakar Junos, Miss Baolag. There are, these people have so much international experience. Why they select him, Haris Rauf, just because of pace? So that's a that's a one thing. But I think in T20 cricket you need experience. To be honest, my point of view, we are talking about control in Test cricket, but you also need a control in T20 cricket. So and like what kind of lengths you will bowl, what kind of balls you have, how you will come back in your second spell. These kind of things you need as a T20 bowler. But I think Haris Rauf having a aggression like Haris Rauf aggression kills Haris Rauf. That's the main thing. Batsman hits Haris Rauf for a six or a four, and he just go in like aggressive tone, and his aggression also kills him because he just forget his length, his line, length, his control. So I think that's the main thing. But definitely, I agree with you. Haris Rauf should go for a domestic season proper, but it's up to captain. If captain like him, if coach like him, he will stay there whole year. So he's not going anywhere. So it's all up to, yeah, I like aggression. Shoaib Akhtar also talk about a lot of time. We need that kind of fast bowler who's so aggressive, so angry with open shut buttons, something like that. Stuff. So Haris Rauf is something like that, having like a that kind of test. But yeah, I agree with you. But it's all up to captain or coach what they think they need this kind of character or not. They can afford Haris mistakes and error in line and lengths or not. So let's see what happen with Haris Rauf in future.
I mean, Shoaib Akhtar was a lot quicker than Horace Rolfe, and he's a lot better. so Shoaib
And
Akhtar
he
says
also
that.
have more long hairs than Haris
Yeah,
Rauf,
and a much longer run up as well. So, yeah, I think
more than everyone.
exactly. No, he was rapid. And Fawad Alam, I mean, he must have now secured his place in the Pakistan side for Test cricket. What do you think about him? Are you a fan of Fawad Alam?
I am talking about Fawad Alam's journey with Zulfa, Zulfa with us and within the show. So it's just so inspiring. Nowadays what Rizwan and Fawad Alam are doing, it's so much inspirational. That's quite inspirational for me. These guys are so good, but yeah, I'm quite impressed. I'm also the, same in case of Rizwan, as we are not believing in Rizwan abilities. I don't know what they are doing. They both are doing behind the behind the scenes, because we don't have so much belief in Rizwan, and Rizwan just came with a bang, hitting sixes out of the park. And same like Fawad Alam, to be honest, I also I don't have so much belief in Fawad Alam betting, but I think the what matter most is Fawad Alam believe is his process, and he just came with a true champion. What kind of situations he have in New Zealand. I think 31 with 4, or same with Pakistan, something like that. So, if Fawad perform in these kind of situations, definitely it's a true champion, and it makes the process. If players comes with these kind of things, then you have more belief with process. Rizwan also follow the process of 4 or 5 years, improve his six hitting abilities, batting skills, and same with Fawad Alam. So I think I just learned these guys from just follow the process with patience, nothing else. Just follow the process with patience. That's what I learned from these guys.
100%, 100%. And it's good to see cricket back in Pakistan, right? International cricket back in Pakistan. It's been, I think, when we beat South Africa in the Test series, the first time we've beaten them in a Test series since 2003. And they hadn't been to Pakistan, I think, for at least 10 years. So it's good to see cricket back in Pakistan as well. Um, I actually think Mohammad Rizwan I personally think he's probably the best wicketkeeper batsman in Test cricket. I'll tell you why. I'll tell
Surprise
you
didn't
why.
like your statement.
I'll tell
Surprise
you
didn't
why.
like your statement too much.
Surprise, yeah, surprise, yeah. I'll tell you why, because I think his as a wicket keeper, he's very good. Like someone like Tim Payne used to be good, but he's made quite a lot of mistakes recently. And then you have um, BJ Watling for New Zealand. He's very good. But I think Rizwan's batting has come a long way. I would say someone like Pant is his batting's probably slightly better, but his keeping's not as good. So I personally think Mohammad Rizwan is probably the best wicketkeeper batsman in Test matches. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm thinking about also. Like world wicket keepers, I think he's the best test wicket keeper right now in the whole world. No one have more good wicket keeper like in batting and wicket keeping also. Same with BJ Watling or Rishabh Pant. When you go with Rishabh Pant, you miss wicket keeping skills, and when you go with Saha, you miss batting skills. And in England also struggling before. I think Pakistan series like Bairstow, Butler, or like Ben Fox, and people are talking about, and Josh Butler also believes like it's his last test match where he performed. So yeah, definitely I think Rizwan is right now the best test wicket keeper in the world. Look at the batting average, like you look at the wicket keeping skills, and shift in. It's not as much as easy wicket keeping in test in New Zealand, and then suddenly in Pakistan. In the kind of conditions, so long quarantine in New Zealand, and then it's Pakistan, and he also have so much pressure of Sarfraz also. There is also a bench pressure. So I think he's just brilliant. And right now, again, I'm saying like best test wicket keeper in the world right now.
100%. I think keeping spin in New Zealand compared to keeping spin in Pakistan is very different. So I 100% agree with you as well. Before we very briefly touch upon the PSL, is there anything you want to say about the South Africa's tour of Pakistan before we move on to the PSL?
I think it's about crowds. You talk about like international cricket in Pakistan. I have an incident. A friend of mine from UK, she's saying like she's a huge fan of Mohammad Amar, and she meet with Mohammad Amar 5 6 times. And I just go with shock, Faizan. I thought Mohammad Amar is a Pakistani player. He's not England cricket player. Then how a person more than a Pakistani person, meet more times with Amar? So we just international cricket so much. Believe me, we cry a lot regarding international cricket. And I still remember the day when World Cricket comes in Pakistan. I think Darren Sami team na. So what happened? I just go to the outside of my home and I just breathe. And I just breathe a lot. I live northern side of Pakistan, and World 11 comes in Lahore, I think, and I just breathe along, and I just think about international cricket in this year. Like I am living, I think, 5 6 kilometers away from Lahore, and whenever I just heard the news like international team comes in Pakistan, so I just go outside of my door and I just breathe. In this year, international cricket have, and Darren Sami, Faf du Plessis, they are also taking, breathe from this year. So there are so much funny stories. Like as emotional fan, we miss a lot, we cry a lot regarding international cricket. We don't feel international cricket, how international cricket will happen, how international cricket will organize, how as a fan experience. So I still remember 28th February day last year when I just go to Pindi for a cricket match, and I just cry. So it's quite tasty, like it's quite tasty, international cricket. You are just watching Colin Ingram, even our own stars. I never saw Babar Azam in front of me. So that's a quite emotional story, to be honest. That's a great thing for us, international cricket back in Pakistan. We're missing a lot.
I didn't even think about that because we've been spoiled here. So I've seen more Pakistan than you have, and I'm in the UK because I've been to the Champions Trophy final. So I watched the Champions Trophy
Oh.
final where Pakistan won. I saw Pakistan in the World Cup against West Indies. We got absolutely destroyed, but it was fine. I still saw them, and I saw I saw the Pakistan India match in the Champions Trophy in the group stages. So we lost that one, but then we won. We beat them in the final. So I've watched a few Test matches. So Pakistan versus England at Lords at the Oval. So I was just thinking to myself, that's so funny because it's sad though, and it is sad, like you said, because in Pakistan, we love our cricket. I can tell you love your cricket. The whole country is the main sport in Pakistan, and to not be able to see international cricket for so long is hard. It's very hard, and it's difficult for fans as well. So it's a bit unfair that I've been able to see more Pakistan than you have, which makes no sense. Which makes no sense, does it? But no, inshallah, hopefully as well with the current climate, like you'll be able to go and see them at home, hopefully. So fingers crossed, you'll be able to, and then you can breathe in the air, and you won't just have to breathe in. You can see
Yeah.
them. You can see them playing, inshallah, hopefully as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. Inshallah.
And he taught me about Bashara a lot. But yeah, thank you very much, and inshallah, I look forward to speaking to you again, and let's catch up soon.
Bye.